Welcome to YESPHX. I'm Daniel Valenzuela. Our ability to compete in the 21st century global economy will depend on our ability to attract, retain, and especially develop talent. This is part of a four-part series of the Phoenix Union High School District. In part one, we've had an opportunity to sit down with Dr. Chad Geston, the superintendent, to get the vision of the overall high school district. We've met lots of great people as we visited the Bioscience High School, as well as the Coding Academy, but it all comes down to the student. And this is a student we should all be very proud of. This young man is a Maryville kid, Josh Elizetxe, Maryville kid.
Maryville, yep.
And a product of Alhambra High School out of District 5. And, you know, we're all incredibly proud of you, Josh, first and foremost. So thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for being an inspiration. Now, you are the CEO of Foresold. Every successful entrepreneur goes through struggles, so I want to hear all about that. And every successful entrepreneur figures out what problem it is that they want to solve. So first, why don't we talk about Foresold? Tell us what it is and what problem you're solving.
So Foresold is our holding company. So over the years, we've built several companies underneath that. But initially, I was trying to scratch my own itch, and I think that's how a lot of entrepreneurs start. Initially, I was hanging out at the Phoenix Public Library.
In Maryville.
In Maryville, that's right. And I picked up a book one day that said, How to Build Websites for Dummies. And I thought that was interesting. And so I read through it, had lots of pictures, so it made it easy. And I said, oh, this actually looks easier than I thought. And so using the Phoenix Public Library's computers, I started to build my first website. And I realized that I kind of fell in love with it. And it wasn't until a couple years later that I realized that it could actually be a business. And kind of my dreams of going to medical school, which was my initial plan, I kind of realized that I wanted to go this way.
Now, in 2015, you sold your agency.
That's correct.
You had more than 40 employees, which is pretty amazing. What are you doing now?
Yeah, so the agency was a great opportunity for us to learn about using other people's money. So through the agency, we used our clients' budgets to learn about Facebook advertising, YouTube advertising, how to get the word out there about products, understanding branding. And so along the way, kind of during the downtime when we were working on client projects, we started to create our own products and our own services that we would market kind of just as pet projects just to do in the meantime. And one of those projects that I'm very excited about and we're spending a lot of time on now is a company that we're focusing on the U.S. Hispanic market. And what we're doing is I realized along the way of myself losing weight and becoming more healthy that there weren't any companies actively targeting in Spanish to the U.S. Hispanic market, the 50+ million and growing. Mm-hmm. And what I realized is that U.S. Hispanics are 2 times as likely to die from diabetes, and there are stats, that go on and on and on. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, many U.S. Hispanics do not have health insurance, so they can't just go to a doctor and get a prescription. Right. So, our new company will provide solutions.
Now, Josh, any tips and advice that you offer would be good for anyone, but in particular our young people. What would you say?
I would say if I could go back and talk to my younger self, 14, 15, 16 years old, I would say dream big. But also act big. Start putting things into action. It cost me exactly $0 to get my first blog started, and then that allowed me to buy my car, and then I was able to buy a computer and kind of just evolve from that. And so, my goal is to break down the barriers that are in front of people, mostly in their mind. So it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter, how much money you have or how much money you don't have. What matters is the goals that you set, and going after them, setting them to action. So get started now, and don't be afraid if you think you're too young. That's not true.
Absolutely not. Clearly.
Yeah.
Now, Josh is a product of the Phoenix Union High School District. What would you tell Dr. Chad Geston, superintendent, and all of your teachers?
I just want to say thank you for most importantly believing in someone like myself. You never know, what someone's wild dreams will become a reality. And I can think back on a few teachers and a few staff that really believed in me and said, even though it's crazy, I believe in you, you can do it. And they talked to me on a mature level, and it was that belief that helped propel me into my success.